Well, hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I'm trying to see whether we can do a broadcast on, see if we can do it on my tablet or not. And I'm just going to wait to see if anybody can hear me now. I've just got to get somebody to find out whether whether you can hear me or not. For those of you who just joined, you need to understand I've had a very trying time. I've tried on YouTube 3 times, on Facebook, and now I'm here on my tablet to see if this worked. So if it does, that'll be great, and if it doesn't, then I guess I am not meant to be broadcasting today, but I won't quit yet. Let me just see if I can find if Jody can come in and tell me whether we've got audio here. Oh, there we go. Yes, we got audio. Yes! You see, I refuse to quit. Just hold on 1 second, because I need to now just get up my quotes and things on a different screen so that I can do this broadcast. For those of you who don't know, this is not normally how we do our broadcasts. Literally, I've had all sorts of problems today, but you know, I don't quit very easily, so here we are, and I'm about to give you a better view in just a minute. I just want to make sure that we've got everything working. So hi to Jody and anybody else that happens to be here. Let me try and get this broadcast up as well. All right, we can do this. I think we can do this. I'm just trying to get a screen up so that I can see the comments, because it is difficult for me to see the comments on my tablet. All right, so that's the old one. The other one will come up for me just now, I think. Okay, so that's good. Hi, Lizzie. Well done. I'm trying to get the new broadcast up on my screen. You can hear me. Good. I am delighted. You know me, I don't quit very easily. As soon as I can get the things that I need up on my screen, we will roll. I've got one of them, and now I need the other one. Just bear with me, please. Oh, maybe I can do the other one on my phone. It's so difficult. All right, let's start again. Ladies and gentlemen, at last. This is our Mother's Day broadcast, and what happened was that we tried 3 times on YouTube and it didn't work. Actually, I lied. This is now the 4th time and it did work. So, wow, very frustrating. But thank you all for staying on board and being here with me. And I'm just going to try and get the quotes that I want up on my phone, and then we will be able to roll, hopefully. I'm hoping that you all had a great Mother's Day. Did anybody get a Mother's Day gift? I was really pleased that Dougie phoned me, for those of you who know Doug. Oh, there we go. Looks like I've actually found the screen. Yes. Isn't that great? I wonder if I can pop it out. Used to be able to pop it out if I wanted to. Pop out screen. Yes. There we go. Nearly there, people. We are so close. And now I just need the quotes that I wanted. And that's not it. We are 1 step away. There we go. Now, if only I can get those two screens combined, we're going to be in an awesome place. So there's the pop-out chat. Can I get rid of that? Ah, we're nearly there, people. That one. I'm so scared of nuking the wrong screen, which I think I might have just done. Oh, we can do this, really. We are people that don't give up. Okay. So I was saying earlier on that I managed to sell my trailer this week. And in fact, it went yesterday. And it was, as some of you probably can imagine, it was the saddest thing in that split second when I thought about all the people who had been in that trailer, all the young people over the years that I had helped. And it was really quite weird. I don't mind telling you that I had a little cry. And you're probably not surprised to hear that if you know me at all. All right, people, this is very exciting. I think I may have managed to get if I do that, then I can't see. Okay. All right, we're nearly there. Whoops. Now it's a case of where am I going to put my tablet so that I can talk to it, that it's high enough, but I can see the screens I need to see. We can do this. Oh, you don't want that view, do you? Really, we're so close. I think we're so close anyway. Definitely don't want that view. That's not quite working. But it's better, right? Is this better? Everybody can see me? Except now I've got to... We can do this. Really. Yeah, it was very emotional. It was very emotional indeed, just so that you know. Oh, hang on a second. I'm going to put this on my... No, don't do that to me. All right, so that's better, I think. I've got it hanging on my laptop now. All right, now we can do this, people. We don't quit. So just that you know, yes, it was very emotional letting go of the trailer. And I was thinking about, I had originally, met people like Benji and Cisco and Doug and all those young people that I met when they were just, 17 or 18. And they all spent time, visiting the trailer and talking to me over the years when I did these workshops. And so it was really interesting. I went through the trailer and knowing that it was going to a homeless man, I just literally kept going through it and going, this isn't something that I need, but would somebody else need it? And so, it was like all the pots and pans, they could stay, and the plates. And, most of the food I sort of recommended that he throw away. But, I'm not quite sure what the shelf life is of spaghetti, for example, and I'm pretty sure that if you are homeless and hungry, that maybe the fact that spaghetti isn't totally fresh might not be an issue. I don't know about that. I did throw away all the cans because I had a feeling they'd been there too long. You know what I mean? And it was just sort of really a strange thing. But the guy was so excited. He actually came to collect it with the lady. So I didn't give it away. I sold it at half its value so that, everybody got to have a win-win out of this. And I really, I was sad to see it go, but I was glad that it was going somewhere where it would be of value. All right, let us now move on. And thank you, Lizzie, for saying that's so nice. I did wake up this morning and think about this man who has it and thought, wow, it must have been so nice for him to wake up listening to the rain last night on the roof rather than on his head. So I'm going to find some quotes here. Just bear with me. Stevie Wonder said, "Mama was my greatest teacher, a teacher of compassion, love, and fearlessness. If love is sweet as a flower, then my mother is sweet as a sweet flower of love." I wonder how many of you feel that way. I'm not saying that everybody necessarily does feel that way about their mother, or should, because some people had different experiences, from their mother. But what I wanted to do in today's broadcast was talk to you a little bit maybe about, can we mother ourselves better? That if we know that the greatest mothers are great teachers, they're great teachers of compassion, of love, and fearlessness, then are we going to give those to ourselves this year in greater degree? That's what I'd like you to think about. And then Richard Kipling said, oh, that's interesting. I can't move the screen. I am really challenged today. God could not be everywhere, and therefore he made mothers. How about that one? God could not be everywhere, so he made mothers. I think that is so awesome. The love of a mother is the veil of a soft light between the heart and our Heavenly Father. Yes, Liz is saying that that she needs to mother herself better, compassion and fearlessness. Yes. I'm really challenged because I need to be able to read what's said on the screen and I don't get to it fast enough. So now that means I've got to make another plan here. I can't keep lifting up this to find out where I am. Here we go. Wow. And Beth is saying, for those of you who know Beth, that you will remember, oh gosh, this really is challenging for me, people, that she had an issue with her store manager. She's been cheating employees out of, oh my gosh. Wow, that is incredible to hear. I will not be beaten by technology, really, guys. Somehow it's so challenging for me right now. Oh, what if I hold it here? All right, so you understand I need to look over here to see what people are saying, and I need to look all the way over here to read the quotes. But, we can do this, right? Big hugs to you all. Would be an easier way first. So, Beth, I'm really sorry to hear about this, but in a way, I don't think you're totally surprised. Yes, if I had any books in my house, but they're all packed up, Liz, I appreciate the thought. But all my books are in boxes. I'm left with the few things that I have around me. But, as I said, I refuse to be beaten by them. Oh, darn. Yeah. There we go. It's just that I have to keep looking at different screens to get what I need. You feel violated. Yes, I'm not surprised that you did, Beth. And I presume that your hours are among those that were... Seriously. Oh, that's my coffee cup. You don't want to see that. I presume that your hours were among those that were... Oh, this is so tragic. Yeah, yours were affected as well. Okay, so, Liz, it is what it is, and, be grateful that, it's going to be sorted out. I want to tell you that I've had it happen. Sorry. I've had it happen where, you know, it is horrible to find out. This is the edge of my computer I'm trying to get rid of for you. I've had it happen where these sort of things. Okay, this corner is staying, people. Okay, not a problem, Isabel. I'm so sorry for this. We're going to do this, people. We are not going to be beaten by technology. So there. All right. So big hugs, everybody. Thank you for being here. So what about a mother's happiness is like a beacon lighting up the future, but reflected also on the past in the guise of fond memories. How many of you have fond memories of your mom? Now, again, not everybody will have, and that is what happens in some families. But I'm trying to imagine for myself, what are my fondest memories of my mom? And I think I'd have to say that some of the fondest memories I have of my mother are of her doing jigsaw puzzles. I don't know why, but she always looked so happy doing jigsaw puzzles. I think my mom was one of those moms who would have loved to have done something other than be a mother. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, I think that she would have been so much happier if she could have followed her dream, whatever that was. And I guess I never really found out what it was. I tried to find out. But, you know, bless her heart. And so I really relate to all of you or have great attachment to all of you that had wonderful mothers and who really have some very good memories of them. You know, my mom tried really hard. I really have to say that. And, you know, Beth, I'm listening to you and all that's going on at work, and my heart goes out to you. And I just really hope that you find somewhere that this has a silver lining for you. You know, that you will end up not only getting some back pay, but also, you know, maybe you end up with a job. I think that's a possibility, right? Right, so Liz, may I repeat that? Because I think it's really important, Liz, that I ask permission for that one because, okay, so Liz is saying, this is weird, but I wish my mum would hug me. She's been supportive, but tells me that everything that's happening now is too much. She's constantly comparing my struggles to her own. You know, Liz, I'm certain that you're not alone in that. When I say you're not alone in that, I've heard that from many people, and I think that many people, mothers or otherwise, do that as well, which is when somebody else has an issue, they relate it back to their own. Do any of you relate to that, where you've been sick and then the other person starts off by sounding like they care about you, but it always goes back to them? And I'm certain I've done it. Not intentionally, but I'm certain I've done it. And so to me, this is like, wow, I'm still not happy, you can tell, right? So, okay, that's worse. Yeah, why don't I learn to leave it alone? No, Liz, don't run away. I'll be here. So I just think, Liz, that your mom is not the only one that does that. All right, I think a lot of people do that. And so really, have you asked her for a hug? That would be my question. Have you said, stand still for a minute, Mom, I want to give you a hug? You see, sometimes we have to hug them rather than wait for them to hug us. And so that's what I would do. I've always believed that give unto others that you would like. Yeah. So, you know, there are an awful lot of people who are not able to do that. They'll do it if you ask them to, but they're just not able to do it naturally, Liz. And that has to do with, they were never hugged as children themselves. They don't know the value of that. And so what I would start doing is I know it sounds strange, but giving to your mother the things that you wish that she had given to you. So hopefully within her lifetime, she will find the value of them. I literally have a member of my family that I ask, can I give you a hug? If you can believe that. And 9 times out of 10, when I ask, I get told no. There's a real problem there somewhere, right? So I'm actually glad. There you go, Liz. You see, your mother had an abusive parent. So that's why she's cold, right? And she doesn't understand those nurturing things that you would have loved to have had. And I'm certain she would have loved to have had them as well. That is the whole thing, Liz. But I'm glad you're talking about it. Hi there, Grace. Welcome. And with apologies, we've got all sorts of technical problems going on today, but we're not going to be beaten. We're still doing our broadcast. So it was so funny, we couldn't get it to work on my computer or my phone, but we did get it working on my tablet. I even tried it on Facebook. We're talking about Mother's Day. And if anybody would like to give me their fondest, memories of their mum, whether they're still around or not, that would be awesome. If you took one moment in time and said, when I think about my mom, I think about this. I must admit that I am very grateful for the people that have allowed me into their lives and allowed me to mother them, considering I really don't have a lot of idea of what that's about. As some of you know, I've never had children. I wasn't able to. And so motherhood in the true sense of the word was never mine. But I never let that stop me from having children. You know what I mean? I sort of found family along the way. I literally would become second mother to, and I have done over the years, probably tens of children. I sometimes feel a bit like Pat. For those of you who don't know, Pat is one of our viewers, and she adopts children all over the place. And in a way, there's part of me that feels a bit like Pat, because I sort of have, young people adopt me 9 times out of 10. And so there's a quote here that said, motherhood, it's all love. All love begins and ends there. How many of you were lucky enough to have that in your life, where you got unconditional love from your mother, and still do if you're lucky enough to have them still alive? And so for those of you who didn't, I really would encourage you to turn this around. And even if you can't give it to your mother, give a mother's love to someone else. And Liz, I was busy saying that I didn't have children, but it never stopped me from actually being that role model, if you like, for people. Or that love in my own way. I realized that I can't do it the same way, but I did it in my own way. And Eric Fromm said, mother's love is peace. It need not be acquired. It need not be deserved. Right, and Jodie's saying that she was blessed with 19 years of knowing her mother. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, Liz, you're having a hard time dealing with the possibility of not being able to have children. When will you know? I guess that's a difficult question to answer. Do they have any idea of when they might know whether that's true or not, Liz? I mean, presumably if you fall pregnant, you'll know. But I mean, I'm just wondering if they will be able to check that out for you, so that you will know. And you know, Liz, if that is not what is meant for you in your lifetime, then please see that not as a negative. I can imagine that it must feel horrible, but you know, I heard that as well, Liz. I heard that I could never have children. All right? All right, so my reality is the fact that I couldn't have children didn't mean I couldn't love. Do you know what I'm saying, Liz? So, you know, you're capable of adopting, you're capable of giving motherly love to other people, even if you don't physically produce them. So don't look at this as a negative. Look at this as a look at it another way. You won't have to go through labor. There's sort of like there are different ways of looking at it, and so it's not that you can't have children. You just can't physically produce children is a possibility, and you don't know that to be a fact yet. So I would not worry about that being a fact until you hear that it's a fact. Makes sense? And how about this one? There's a quote here that says, the most important thing. Oh, wait a minute. Let's just see what Grace says here. I don't have children yet. I'm now 40, and it sort of didn't happen. I wonder if one day when there's no possibility, I will be heartbroken and regretful. You know something, Grace? I wouldn't think that. I worked so hard in my life to make sure I didn't regret it. I made sure that I sort of looked at what can I do? You know, I keep saying this to the viewers, don't think about what you can't do. Think about what you can do. Liz, you can adopt. Grace, if you really want children, you can adopt them, all right? There are so many children in the world that need the love of a mother. So don't look at what you can't do. And the other thing is, are you married, Grace? I don't know if you're actually married, but you know, you'll be amazed how that one can swing when you least expect it. I've heard stories of people that, you know, didn't fall pregnant for the longest time. And then when they totally gave up on the idea that they would, they suddenly did. You're still waiting for the father of your child. Okay. So that's why I wanted to ask, because, you know, aren't you lucky that you live in this day and age where a single person can actually adopt? Have you thought about that? You know, in my day, it would have been unheard of for a single person to adopt a child, but today, we can do that now. So if you really want to have children, you can start working towards it. Leonardo DiCaprio, I thought this was interesting. He said, my mother is a walking miracle. What an incredibly gracious thing to say about your mother. And for those of you who know the singer Gloria Estefan, she said motherhood is difficult and rewarding. All right, so Grace is saying, I want my child to come into a life with two happy parents and a loving relationship, that's all. But, you know, again, does it have to be two happy people? And in this day and age, that is not what I know. How many of you had a mother that sang to you? Do any of you have that memory at all? Yes, Grace, you could use a donut. Yes, that's see another thing. When you want to be grateful for today's technology, that you could, be very grateful for the fact that today you can have, a donut, and you can almost handpick what you get. So there are lots of ways to do this. Alicia Keys said that her mum is definitely her rock. All right, so listen to what Grace says. I would need nice men to take part in my child's life. That sounds like you have had some not so nice men in your life. Would that be true? All right, and Jody's saying, I have memory, yes. I remember my mother reading Bambi to me every afternoon for my nap time. Isn't it amazing how we remember those things? I can remember my mum making a dress for me once. That's a great memory for me. I cannot remember my mum ever reading to me. I'm sure that she did. Oh, she taught me how to play Scrabble. I do remember that. Mind you, she was killer at Scrabble. All right, so Grace is saying, no, I've had nice, only kind and loving, but they haven't been interested to stay for a long time. Yeah, sometimes that just happens. And you know something, Grace? You probably want to be grateful for that, because if they weren't nice enough to stay and stay nice, then I'd be pretty glad they moved on. I think this is a nice, Milton Berle, the comic, said, if evolution really works, how come mothers only have two hands? How many of you can remember mothers, or can remember being a mother and, be going, gosh, how do they do all this? Right? And then you became a mother and you went, oh, this is how you do it. You just have to do it. So my question to you all is, yes, Beth had twins. It's like she needed 4 arms, not 2. And I think it's really wonderful that you can, be aware that mothers are such an incredible reality to us all. You know what I mean? They were sort of, if they are our rock, then are you the rock for somebody? Are you the person that everybody knows, well, their mum might not want to listen to them, but you always do? And it was really cute when I was packing up the trailer yesterday. My next door neighbor's son, who is a young man in his 30s, I would think, but still lives in his parents' house. He has the suite below. And he and I were chatting on the driveway yesterday, and he was saying that his mum had always wanted to go camping and never has. And I said to him, boy, have you got her a Mother's Day gift yet? And he said, no. I said, well, there's the perfect Mother's Day gift. If she has always wanted to go camping, why don't you hand her a card, or even a handmade card, and inside write, your Mother's Day gift this year is I'm going to rent a trailer and we're going camping. And then he said, well, I would, but we never have time. And I said, oh, really? That's the reason? Or is it that you never make time? Because, I don't know anybody who has enough time to go camping. I know an awful lot of people who make the time and are so glad that they do. I said, I want to tell you something. If you give your mother that piece of paper for Mother's Day, I am pretty sure you'll find that she will cry her heart out at the love in that. All right, so Lizzie's saying, Beth is saying here that she always thought that even though she had a hard childhood, she was blessed with twins. Someone up there knew I could overcome anything and change the cycle in my family. Yes, I agree with you, Beth. It takes one member of a family to change the family dynamic. And your branch of the family will be different because of it. And I'm so proud of you for making that difference. You look at it as well, that you have also, I am sure, made a difference in your workplace and about to make an even bigger difference. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do to solve the problem. Because I'm pretty sure that when this becomes public, which it will if it goes to court, that every member of staff that has ever worked there is going to be claiming back pay of some sort. But how can they prove it? So it's going to be a difficult time. What they may do is just... I don't know what they're going to do. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I'll keep watching the channel, Beth, so I can see how they fix this incredible problem. I'm just, pretty sure you're going to end up with a store if you want it. So, so be ready for that to come your way, because who are they going to put that? And do you really want it? That again, I always say this to you, make sure you want it. Don't just do it because they want you to do it. Do it because you want to do it. And that is another very important thing. Yes, a huge mess, Jody, you're right. A really huge mess. So as we've got a really strange broadcast going on today, are there any questions that any of you had? There you go. Did I know, off topic, but when you had your CT scan, did they use dye? No, in a CT scan, the one that I had, it's called something else when it's a CT scan, I think. When they use the dye, I'm trying to call, that's like an MRI, I think, or something, not an MRI. Jody might know, because she knows everything. I've had scans where they've put in the dye. Why are you asking, Liz? Just so that I know? Well, with contrast. There you go. Thank you very much, Beth. The magic word is with contrast. If it says with contrast, that means they're going to inject you with the dye. I tell you, we got so much medical information here, it blows me away. I've had a couple, and all right, so I'm trying to find out why Liz wants to know. Are you about to have one? If so, we'll gladly tell you what it feels like. So you're getting a TC, but they said with dye. Okay, fine. So the dye, when they inject you with that dye, Lizzie, it's just a little, I want to say a little tingly. You know what I mean? In other words, you can feel it. All right? I can't tell you that you can't feel it, because you can. But you only feel it for about, I would say, seconds rather than minutes. And you're going, what the, is that? And then you realize, oh, that's the dye going in. It feels warm, Jody says, but it wasn't bad. Yes, it was like you could, it's like you're going, well, I guess something's going through my system now, but it didn't. I guess that it's only at the beginning that you can actually be aware of that. Once it's been in there for a couple of seconds, you don't feel it at all. And would that be fair for those other people who've had it done? Yeah, of course you're a little scared. You know something, Lizzie? I totally understand why you'd be a little scared, because it sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? They're going to inject me with something. And so I just want to tell you that I would say that it's, for me, it was a little stronger than warm, but it wasn't painful. Oh, that's interesting. Beth's saying that it felt like she just peed in her pants. So that warm. Okay, all right, that's fair enough. Jodie's saying she could feel it for about 5 seconds. Yeah, that's why I wanted to let you know that as soon as you feel it, start counting. Because by the time you get to about 5 or 10, it's not going to be there anymore. Don't start counting out loud, just in your head, start counting. So it's just a different feeling, Liz. It's not ouch. It's not an ouchy one. Hi, Tyler. Good to see you. And we've just been talking about Mother's Day. It does not hurt. I can't say you can't feel it, because that would not be true, but it's more a tingly feeling rather than a painful one. I guess it's probably different for different people as well. So, yeah, you will live, Lizzie, you will live. And it's very good to have it because they can actually track. The reason they inject you with the dye, Liz, is so that they can track it. They literally can see it flowing through your system. Does that make sense? And it's like, okay, fine, everything's fine to this point. Oh, there's a blockage of some sort here, because it starts to pool at that place. And then, it might carry on, and then it may stop somewhere else. So it literally tells them almost to the pinpoint exactly if there's an obstruction of any sort and where it is. So I'd be very grateful that you're having that, because it may, again, give you another answer you don't have right now. Okay, are CT scans long? I don't know. It depends what they're looking for. I would say an exploratory one with the contrast probably is longer than just a regular CT scan. When they did my CT scan of my lungs, it was sort of like what took a long time was getting there, getting undressed, getting prepped, go into the tube. They literally, take you into a tube. And it's quite honestly that the actual CT scan took very little time. If you are having a contrast medium put in, Liz, think about that. That'll take longer because they want to actually see exactly how it flows. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Beth is saying that she's got a friend who was just diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, a PET scan, what is a PET scan, Beth? Just so that everybody knows what it is. And all right, so what they're doing then is to see, all right, how that medium flows through into your kidneys. Is there some sort of obstruction or something that's not working correctly on its way to the kidneys? And then how does that medium get processed by the kidneys? Yeah, I think you're probably going to be grateful for it. Ah, that's another point, right? If there is some sort of hole somewhere, and I say hole, but let's say there's a slight tear somewhere, that's a good point, Beth. They will be able to see that it's leaking, out of the vein that they put it in. They can see it leaking. And which is a good thing to know as well, right? Because then they're going to know exactly where that problem is. And it might be a very tiny little tear or something, but they can see it once they got that medium inside. All right, now for those of you who are regular viewers, you're probably about now seeing, as I'm looking at the time, going to start wondering about what we're having for dinner. And today, listen up, I'm doing barbecued spare ribs. They went on the barbecue for about, on very low, on about 250, for about half an hour on each side to get rid of the most of the fat. And then for the last couple of hours, they've been sitting in my slow cooker with an incredible marinade of, or basting sauce of yummy stuff. So not only are they going to be incredibly tasty, but they will actually fall apart. So the combination, yeah, the sauce queen strikes again. By the way, I do want to tell you how well Yvonne looked after me yesterday. I didn't realize it until later. But I never thought to eat yesterday with all the stress of the trailer going. And we had a lot of problems with the trailer, but we eventually managed to get it on the road. I clean forgot to eat. And I know that's not a good thing. And, you know, at one point, Yvonne suddenly pitched up with a Dairy Queen Frosty for me. And I went, oh, look at that breakfast. And then she came later in the day with another bag. And I said, what's that? And she said, poutine. Now, you will know I have not had poutine since the day they told me that I might have diabetes. So, you know, to me, it was like, you bought me poutine? And it did not last long. In Europe, it's nearly 3 a.m. Wow, Grace, that is amazing. Tell me something. Where in Europe are you? Which country? Just so that we've got a sort of an idea. She's a very nice person. Oh, and then when I was busy trying to power wash where the trailer had been, a man stopped his car and said, oh, you know, the sign is now up outside my house. She said, I see your house is for sale. And I said, yep. And he said, I know I need to talk to the realtor, but can you tell me a little bit about it? You're in Estonia. Grace, I have a very, very dear friend of mine, one of my dearest friends of all time, whose background is Estonian as well. And it always, whenever there are births or deaths or marriages in her family, you know, we go through the full Estonian experience. So believe you me, I am aware. Anyway, so this guy stopped and asked me about my house. So it was really strange to actually say to them, you know, this is basically what it is, but, you know, I'm actually on the MLS listings now. So I guess I am closer to selling my house than I've ever been. How about that? Feels a bit scary, I don't mind telling you. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it feels really strange. And it's like Liz saying, you know, put the thing onto a pile of books. I'm going, what books? I don't have any books left. Can you get the link to the... Yes, you can get the link to it. We actually did a walkthrough. You missed that, I think. Quite honestly, when I look at the pictures, I go, wow, that's quite a nice house. I should buy that one. It's one I don't recognize, Beth. Beth, if you write to me, I'll send you the link. How's that? Okay. I don't think I want that around the world, but for the people I know well, I'm more than happy. So to me, it's when this guy was asking me about the property, I said it comes complete with an incredible tenant. And he said, really? I said, yes, I've got a tenant that's been with me for 20 years. And he said, oh, that's perfect. I said, yes. And believe you me, she is perfect. So, and I'm very keen for her to keep her home if possible. I know that I meant to not care, but I do. And so, and he said, no, that suits me perfectly. I went, good. Contact the realtor. Yikes. So we will see what we will see. I'm hoping that it all unfolded exactly as it should. Moving is always a fun process, yes. I want to tell you something, Tyler. I am literally starting to think, what is the most stress-free way to move? That's going to be my next goal. It was so funny because the lady who came for the trailer yesterday, she was saying to me, like everybody else, where are you going? I don't know. I haven't sold the house yet. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, I haven't sold the house, so I don't know where I'm going yet. I'll start really looking to go somewhere when I found that the house is sold. Why would I go through all that and then find out the house doesn't sell for 6 months, or something? I said, first, I need the house sold. Then I will look. But then, like everybody else says, well, what if you don't find a house in time? I said, then, so? It's like, well, then you'd have to put your stuff into storage. So? Do you understand? It's like, yeah, it might cost me a bit more, but it's going to be a lot stress-free. Well, where would you live then? I said, I think that's why they make hotels. By the way, I will have enough money to go out and buy myself a fifth wheel to live in for a while, if I need to. Do you understand? If the house is sold, this isn't going to be a major problem for me. I can just hook up and, and go somewhere if I want to. Or buy, a motorhome of some sort and go on vacation for a while, if I have to. So to me, I'm just really working on everything's going to go in its own pace and it's going to go beautifully. And the person that was here, she said to me, I love your attitude. And I go, what attitude? And she said, you just refuse to be stressed out about it. I go, yeah, it's taken me a long time to learn this one. And the same thing as, all the negotiations that we did about the trailer. Those of you who listened to that broadcast, she kept trying to move it forward, the time. I go, no, we agreed that, you'd pick it up on Saturday. That's when we're going to do it. Yeah, but I'd like to pick it up on Thursday. I'm sure, but it's not going to happen until Saturday because I refuse to put myself under that much stress. You see, what I'm finding, and I do want to get this really to all of you to understand, that if you can pace yourself, Jodie did something recently. She's had a horrific amount of paperwork to get through. And she really paced herself well. Jodie, is the paperwork ready to go for tomorrow? Because you see, what she realized was that, if she can just keep it on doing a little bit every day, she would be able to get through it a lot faster. And I found that doing things, you finished it at 4 p.m. today. Well done, Jodie. All right. So would you agree, Jodie, that doing just a little bit every day, really took a lot of the stress away? And, it actually goes faster than you think. I found that I actually do my stuff in 1 hour segments now. Hi, Nyasha. I'm just about to finish, Nyasha, so just be aware. So I find that literally, if it's unpacking the trailer, if it's, doing this, at the other, I allow 1 hour. And that's all I have to do. As long as I've done an hour that day, then it's fine. And you'll be amazed how much you can get done. And you get achievement, you feel great. And on the other thing, it doesn't take nearly as long as you think it did. I thought the trailer would take me at least 8 hours to actually finish, and it didn't. It only actually, I think, took me about an hour and a half of concerted work. And then, it took another couple of hours to get it on the road and going. But, actually emptying the things out that I wanted took far less time than I thought that it would. All right, everybody, I'm off to go and make the spare ribs. So I will see you all. Thank you for your patience. And I'm sorry that this was such a difficult broadcast. But, we don't quit. We just do what we can, and we don't worry about the things we can't do. Yes, Liz, you need to learn to de-stress. You have a hard time calming yourself. How can we help you, Liz? I really would, Liz, recommend that you keep saying to yourself, let me work on what I can do. Let me not worry about what this may be. Let me not worry about what they will or will not find. Let me work out, what can I do? All right? Can I take myself for a walk? Can I start eating more healthily? Can I, what I'm saying? Just think about what you can do, Liz. Oh, Liz, it's my pleasure. It was so funny. I wrote to Liz one day and I was asking her something about what was going on. And I said, I'm just pretending to care. And luckily, I know Lizzie knows me very well. But, Liz, it's my pleasure, really. You don't mind if people just talk to you. All right. So you would like us to keep in touch and do that. Yes. The other thing is, Lizzie, it's quite normal to be worried, but why would you worry yourself more sick than you already are? That is my thing. So keep saying to yourself, let me not worry about what this could be. Let me concentrate on what I can do for myself. I can be learning a new hobby. I've got, I can go and volunteer if I want to. I am going to concentrate on what I can do and stop worrying about what might be wrong. Remember, Lizzie, that's why I started to do that painting. You remember that? I didn't want to concentrate on if I had cancer. That's the one reason I started doing that painting. I wanted a hobby that would totally absorb my mind. And that's what I did. And it worked. So, we urge you to, you're allowed to have your moments, all right? Just don't do it. You should do that. Okay, that means you're not going to. That I should do that as a guilt word. I don't want you to do it because I told you to. Go find a hobby that you've always wanted to have time to do. You apparently have time right now. All right? So my attitude is use that time well, because you could end up not having time to do other things that you enjoy, because you're sick or because you are back at work. So my attitude is, I will try and find something. Try, Lizzie. All right. I'm sending you a hug, Lizzie. My experience is that most people who say they're going to try means they're not going to do it. But, my attitude is find something to do. Or if you can't find something to do, go and help other people who are way more sick than you, who need... You're back at work now. Okay, fine. So you've got... So that's the reason. All right, got it. All right, Tyler, I'm going to really enjoy those ribs for you. No doubt about it. And I look forward to it. All right, everybody. Don't let life consume you. Breathe and take it easy. Yes, isn't that true? Just concentrate on today, Liz. What can I do today? Right? Don't worry about tomorrow. Just do everything you can to enjoy today. It would be our recommendation right now. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here, and thank you all for your patience. I know this was horrific, trying to find, broadcast medium that would work. Lizzie says you can hit me with the 2x4 now, right? No, I already did, Liz. And it's a very gentle one because we know that you need a bit of TLC right now. All right, we love you dearly, Lizzie. You do the best you can, honey. That's all that we can ask of you. Do the best you can. And if you need to vent, we're here that you can vent to us. If you need to cry, you know to write. All right, you know how to get hold of me. And if you need me on on Hangouts or something, just, let's organize it if that will help you. All right, everybody, big hugs to you all. And Grace, so nice to meet you. I really appreciate the fact that you came in, and we hope to see you again. This is Dear Mama Sal, off to go and eat the ribs and just spend another week of my life going bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. I have no idea how to stop the broadcast on this medium. Let me see if I can do it.